Welcome to the deep dive. If you're someone who needs to get up to speed and fast on the infrastructure behind modern business travel, especially in the Asia-Pacific region, well, you are in the right place.
That's right. Today we're looking at a sector that's really professionalized itself to meet some pretty new demands from travelers.
We've got some great source material today detailing the strategy and I think the really unique model of Shama service departments. They're a big brand under the ONYX hospitality group.
And this isn't just about, putting a roof over someone's head. It's about a real structural shift in how we think about a long stay.
Exactly. Our mission today is to really dissect what makes Shama's model a kind of benchmark. They're known for blending home comforts with hotel luxuries, which, it sounds great. So, okay, let's unpack this. What actually makes this hybrid model the sweet spot?
Well, you have to look at what's driving it. The market is demanding more flexibility, more comfort. People want fully equipped places for stays that could be a week or they could be a year.
And this is especially true in places like Greater China and across the Asia Pacific, right?
Absolutely. It's all driven by things like corporate relocations and big project-based assignments.
And just for some context here, we're not talking about a startup. Shama has been around since 1996. They were acquired by ONYX in 2010, so they've had decades to really get this right.
A long time to refine the concept before they started scaling up so aggressively.
So let's drill down into this sweet spot. When you, the traveler, move into a Shama property, what are you getting that's so different from just, say, leasing an apartment or booking a regular hotel?
It's all about utility and service being integrated. So Shama sits right between a leased residence, which is a pain.
Yeah, you've got to manage utilities, find furniture, all that stuff.
Total nightmare. And then on the other side, you have a conventional hotel, which sacrifices space and, any kind of domestic function.
So the physical offering is key. You're talking about actual equipped accommodations, full-size kitchens, a dining space, separate living areas, all the things that make you feel normal.
That's the foundation. But the real game changer is combining all those homey features with the kind of service you'd expect from a premium hotel.
Okay, so you mean like a 24-hour concierge housekeeping?
Exactly. Daily or on-demand housekeeping, maintenance on call, proper security, all of it.
I can just imagine the relief for a corporate traveler. You're maybe 2 months into an assignment and you don't have to live out of a tiny hotel closet or pay a fortune for laundry.
And if you look at the clientele, it's not just that one type of person. Yes, you have the corporate employee on assignment. That's the core.
But I imagine leisure travelers are getting into this too.
Oh, absolutely. Especially families or groups who want that extra space and the comforts of home.
That makes a lot of sense. Having a full kitchen isn't just a comfort. For a lot of corporate travel programs, it's an economic thing now, right? You can expense groceries instead of just restaurant meals.
That's a huge strategic point because this hybrid model, it just reduces so much of the friction of long-term travel. It provides that stability you want from a home.
But without giving up the service they'll get from a hotel.
Precisely. You get the efficiency of immediate, reliable service.
But wait, that sounds really complex operationally. You're trying to merge two totally different models. A hotel has high turnover, frequent service needs. A residence is the opposite. How do they actually manage that?
That's where the professional management from a group like ONYX is just essential. They're basically running two logistical tracks at once.
Okay.
So on the hotel side, they're managing all the daily services the immediate guest needs. But on the residential side, they're focused on longer-term maintenance and, crucially, keeping vacancy rates low. It's a very delicate balancing act.
So the staff have to be trained to switch between those two modes?
Yes. They can provide that five-star hotel service 1 minute and then handle the deeper, less frequent maintenance for a multi-month tenant the next. It's a specialized skill set.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. It's moving beyond just the floor plan and into the softer side of the business. Because the biggest enemy of an extended stay is just loneliness, right? Isolation.
Isolation is the hidden tax on long-term travel. And Shama gets that. If you can't make a guest feel connected, their stay is just transitional. It's a negative experience, and that's bad for business.
Right, you're not getting repeat customers or good word of mouth.
So their focus on community isn't just a nice-to-have, it is absolutely critical for guest retention.
And the first concept they use to tackle this is something called the Shama Hub. What does a hub actually look like?
Think of it as the property's central nervous system. It's not just a lobby or a business center. It's an open, multifunctional space that's designed for creativity, flexibility, and just spontaneous interaction.
So less of a hallway you walk through and more of a a living room for the whole building.
That's a great way to put it. It's like a combination of a living room, a co-working space, and maybe a cafe all rolled into one.
And the actual amenities are built around this idea. It's more than just a check-in desk.
Oh, much more. The amenities like the self-service laundry, the fitness centers, communal cooking areas, they're all located in or right next to the hub.
Which encourages people to actually bump into each other?
It forces interaction
Yeah.
in a good way. And a key detail from the source material is that these properties are always in really vibrant neighborhoods, so the city itself becomes part of the amenity package.
Right. If you're stuck in Shanghai for 2 months, you don't want to be in some sterile compound. You want to be able to walk out your door and be in the middle of things.
Exactly. And that physical hub is complemented by the programming, which they call the Shama Social Club.
The social club. So this is the software to the hub's hardware.
Perfect analogy. The club is the operational piece that actually builds the connections. It's not passive. It actively curates activities to help residents immerse themselves in the local culture.
So we're not just talking about like a weekly wine and cheese mixer.
No, it's much deeper. It might be a guided tour of a local market, a cooking class with a local chef, a cultural workshop, things that help you, the guest, actually understand the city you're living in.
That's a huge difference.
It is, and it all ties back to their bigger idea, what they call the No Boundaries lifestyle program. It's this whole framework designed to make guests feel empowered to explore, to find those hidden gems, and not feel like a lost tourist.
It turns what could be a sterile work trip into a much richer experience.
Immensely valuable.
But how do they keep it from feeling like, a fancy dorm? Is there a risk of losing that hotel luxury feel when you lean so hard into shared spaces?
That's the management challenge we mentioned. The luxury part is maintained through two things: design quality and service consistency. The interiors are always high-end, contemporary. The common areas feel upscale, not institutional.
And the service.
The service is pure ONYX brand standard. So you might be doing your own laundry, but the front desk service, the security, the cleaning protocols, it's all five-star equivalent.
Okay, so the model works. It's compelling. But does it scale? I mean, Asia Pacific is an incredibly diverse region.
It absolutely scales, and the numbers really back that up.
Mhm.
Right now, ONYX manages over 2,500 units under the Shama brand. That's across 20 properties.
It's a serious footprint.
It's a very significant and growing footprint in the sector.
And their locations really point to the key markets. We're talking Thailand, Greater China, Hong Kong, Malaysia, a clear APAC focus.
It's a very clear bet on the growth of intra-Asia business, but what's interesting is how they adapt. You can't treat APAC as one single market.
True.
So demand in, say, Greater China might be all about density and being close to the financial district, whereas in Thailand, the traveler might want more integration with lifestyle and leisure. A scalable model like Shama's has to have that built-in flexibility.
And this expansion is obviously driven by performance. So how are they actually doing, especially after the pandemic?
The data looks really strong. Their performances apparently exceeded targets. And the fascinating part is the projection for significant revenue growth compared to pre-COVID levels.
That's a huge metric for investors.
It's critical. It shows that while traditional hotels might have had a slower recovery, this specific hybrid segment for corporate and extended stays has just bounced back with incredible resilience.
That suggests that companies learned a lesson during that period, that giving employees a stable, functional home base is better for productivity than just bouncing them between hotels.
I think that's right. This model is now seen as the optimal solution. And if you connect that to the big picture, demand for these quality extended stays is growing faster than traditional hotel stays across the region.
And ONOX is capitalizing on it.
They are. The outlook shows new Shamar locations being developed in Thailand and across Southeast Asia. They're cementing their position as a dominant player in the market.
All right, this has been a fascinating deep dive into how logistics and community are really changing a whole segment of the hospitality world. Let's just quickly recap the core takeaways for you.
I think first it has to be that strategic sweet spot, that successful blend of home comfort and hotel luxury. It just works both for the traveler's well-being and for the company's budget.
And second, it's those community initiatives, the physical Shama hubs and the programming from the social clubs. They drive real local immersion and I think create a sense of belonging that builds loyalty.
So what does this all mean for you, the modern traveler?
Well, it means the whole definition of a long stay is shifting. It's moving away from isolated rooms and towards these connected, functional, community-driven residences.
Which does raise a pretty important question for the future. As global business travel keeps prioritizing flexibility and work-life balance, how are these successful hybrid models going to influence traditional hotels? Right. Are we going to see standard short-stay hotels feel pressured to add more home-like features, more social programs? Will that line between the two just blur entirely? Something for you to think about.
We appreciate you diving deep with us today.
Until next time.